guys, and welcome to today's Los Blancos podcast. Today, it's gonna be a quick one, like normally these Champions League games, but I found it over time, so we're gonna talk about this Champions League game between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid today, or yesterday, I should say, and it ended in a 2-1 win for Real Madrid. A really good win in which we get taken advantage into the Metropolitano, which is what I wanted. I said this on Sunday after the Real Betis loss. I wanted to take a win going to the Metropolitano because that's not a situation you want to be behind, certainly, and a draw is a bit more acceptable, but still it's not great. But it's something we're going to take the lead into the Metropolitano, and it did look like Atleti were pretty satisfied with the draw themselves, because they subbed on Lenormand once with on for Griezmann, and so it felt like Atleti were they felt a bit satisfied with the 2-1 draw, and for them I would say a 2-1 loss. If I would say it feels like a draw for them. I think they'll be pretty confident they can take Real Madrid to the Metropolitano and score a goal and overturn this lead, at least get that 1-0 win or whatever. So I think Atleti on the whole themselves are pretty happy as well. So in terms of it, I think all things considered, the way this match went, I think all teams are pretty happy. I think Real Madrid fans not exactly happy because right at the death, I would say, I can't remember what minute it was, but really close to the end, Mbappe had a really good chance to square it, and he just totally messes it up, and it just feels like it was 91st minute. So it feels like that was such a missed opportunity where you could have scored, and you could have, I think, 2 goals against Atleti, even if it was at the Metropolitano. I think that would have been game over. Now you've got to go to Atleti and get something, but obviously I believe Real Madrid can do that. But let's talk about this match a little bit. Started off amazing, really damn good start. Really intense, really fantastic. Rodrigo in particular was fantastic in the start, with that beautiful finish. Fantastic play to get Haigalan 1-on-1, and then a beautiful finish into the top left with his weak foot. Fantastic from Rodrigo. This is what we love to see from Rodrigo, and this is why I continue to say Rodrigo's been our most consistent attacker, because actually, there's something that you don't consider Rodrigo with is consistency, but this season so far, he's been really consistent. He's been giving us good performances all across the season, and once again this game is really unselfish, helps back, tracking back, and makes a couple of defensive interventions as well. But also, he should have had a pen, I would say. It was a 50-50. I'm not going to say it's definitely a penalty, but I think it was a pen, but obviously I'm a bit biased there. But yeah, there's also that where Rodrigo was fantastic. So I think Rodrigo had a fantastic game himself, but it once again goes back to Real Madrid's weaknesses, with the fact that at the end of the day you should have been able to put a few more past Atleti. You should have been able to cause Atleti a few more problems, but you didn't. And in that first half, 10 minutes passed, I would say, and then Atleti started to claim the ball, started to play really intense, started to press high, and it's once again these moments, those games where, yeah, fine, Atleti, it didn't cost us because Atleti can't sustain that for 90 minutes, constant pressure and constant, just keeping the ball knocking it around. Atleti can't do that for 90 minutes, but I'll tell you who can. That's Barcelona. I'll tell you who can. That's Liverpool. That's Arsenal. And so it feels like, yeah, whilst Atleti ain't able to cause us issues by doing that, other teams will be able to, and it feels like, we did this against Real Betis. We scored early and we sat back off, and the pressure started to tell, and eventually, obviously, it was a fantastic bit of play from Julian Alvarez to get away from Camavinga, and then to put it in the top corner. But it goes back to the idea that they have to do better off these plays where you can't. At the end of the day, it was a fantastic finish that Julian Alvarez did. It wasn't like it was a totally just it wasn't just like a totally stupid goal to concede. It was just something fantastic from Julian Alvarez. But But at the end of the day, we could tell it was coming. Atleti were just building up the pressure, and Real Madrid, that was a totally deserved goal. So, in my opinion, it was not, it was coming, and we, if, as long as we continue to invite this pressure, then it's gonna happen. So it's on us that equaliser went in, and at that point I felt, oh damn, this is just gonna be another 1-1 at the Bernabeu. But you know, second half comes around and still it's not fantastic. I don't think it was a fantastic game from Real Madrid, because it was a game full of spells where Real Madrid had possession and Atleti had possession. But in the 55th minute, Brahim Diaz scores a fantastic goal, puts it right into the corner, and he actually played a great game. I actually tweeted out before the game that I did not want him to start, and I was really disappointed to see him start. But he made me eat my words, and I'm glad he did, because I'm way more happy to be wrong than right in that situation. But fantastic from Brahim Diaz, really good piece of play from him. And long may it continue from Brahim Diaz. But yeah, I think I think he brings a lot to this team, especially when it's Mbappe and Vinicius having stinkers. If we don't have Brahim Diaz there, then suddenly who's gonna step up and give you that attacking play? It's it's obviously Rodrigo, but then there's nobody else. So fantastic from Brahim Diaz, and also once again gave us some really good defensive work as well, and started shouting shit to us, Diego Simeone in the first half when he scored that goal as well. So lovely to see that as well. Good bit of rivalry there, which I love to see. I think elsewhere, I think Fede at right back was a monster, fantastic, and this was Fede at 65% was the quote before the game. I think 100% Fede at right back is going to be fantastic. Like the defensive instincts are fantastic. The way he knows where to be, and there was one play in particular in the first half where, if Fede hadn't been there and if it was Lucas Vasquez, Samuel Lino had a practically open goal. So those instincts from Fede Valverde was fantastic in the first and the second half. Fantastic from him overall. Just constantly a problem for whoever's attacking him down the left. And yeah, you saw Atleti trying to funnel a lot of their attacks through Ferland Mendy, getting a lot more joy through Ferland Mendy. It's just so much. You can see how much difference it makes to have Fede Valverde instead of Lucas Vasquez, because when we have Lucas Vasquez, all the attacks for the opposition go through Lucas Vasquez. When it's Fede Valverde, all the attacks go through Ferland Mendy. It's a very big contrast, and I think it's very obvious to see. So fantastic from Fede. I would also say shout out to Rodrigo, Brahim, Tchouaméni as well. Really good performance from Tchouaméni. He's been improving a lot, but there have been some games where he's dropped back down to a poor level. The Betis game in the weekend, for example, where he's just not great. But hugely improved performance once again. Really good on the ball, really good defensively, and yeah, fantastic from him. So long may it continue, because we need Tchouaméni to keep playing well. Is the important thing, and yeah, I think let's talk about the main thing is Eduardo Camavinga, which I think is the main talking point after the game, because everyone's scapegoating Camavinga now. I'm disappointed with Camavinga, because this is I said against Betis, this is the point of the season where we need Camavinga to step up, because we've lost Ceballos now for another 2 months. We have to play Fede at right back because Lucas Vasquez is just unplayable. And so Modric is 39, and he can't start these type of games, although he played a fantastic game when he came off the bench. We need Camavinga to step up, and the truth is he just hasn't been good over the last few games. Ever since that Barcelona game, it just feels like the performance has just been poor. He's making stupid mistakes, and he's just not been great. I don't expect him to be this bad, forever. I don't expect that. But it's we need him to improve soon enough, because this is the most important part of the season, right? He needs to stop making these silly things, and I think the main things in particular for me is his plays on the defensive end, and his build up is just not great. I think he just needs to improve. He's getting caught in possession. He got caught in possession twice, He keeps getting caught in possession, right? And it's just not good enough, right? He needs to be better in possession, and I think this has been a problem for Camavinga for a long time. When he's playing as a pivot, he just can't build up. There's a problem there. I don't know what it is, but there is just a clear problem. He goes clattering into challenges, and it just feels like at this moment in time, Camavinga is just not a safe option to have in the midfield. And it feels like if you play him against Barcelona or Arsenal or Liverpool, you will get absolutely, totally, and utterly overrun, and that's not what I want to feel from Camavinga. So I need him to improve a lot, but I'm confident. I'm confident that he can step up soon, because this is the guy who was fantastic for us a couple of years ago, and I've got plenty of hopes for him. So we need him to improve, but I'm confident that he can. Anything else? I think. Any other talking points? I'm just having a look through. Asensio was solid. Rudiger was solid. Vinny and Mbappe quickly. Just not a great performance from either of them. Both as bad as each other. I'm not gonna single one of them out either way. At the end of the day, they're getting paid the big bucks, and they're just not running back. The least they could do is actually provide us with something on the offensive end. Vinny just couldn't do anything. Often as is in these derby games, and I just don't see it improving next week at the Metropolitano, in an even more intense atmosphere. So it's going to be a struggle next week as well for Vinicius Junior. And then Mbappe, just not good enough on the ball. It just didn't make any difference. So both of them really poor. Defensively, I did tweet this during the game, and I did notice it. I've been noticing it over the last few games. Is that Mbappe is actually starting to run a little bit more. It's still not like ridiculous levels. It's still not ridiculous levels, but it's definitely improved a lot. Mbappe is running back when he needs to, and if he is, it's not like he sees a man 3 yards away from him and he's just not going to run. He will run. It's been a lot improved from Mbappe, but it's actually Vinicius Junior that is causing us the issues. In terms of press, he's not pressing whatsoever, and so it just feels like I know Vinny can do it. I've seen Vinny do it, for God's sake. I've seen Vinny do it under Zizou, and in that first season under Carlo told him to stop doing it. But we need him to start running a little bit more, because there's so many times where he's just in a bad position because he's just refusing to get back, or he needs to press this guy, because every time the Atleti players have so much time, and every time Atleti, if Vinny just chases them down a little bit, they forces a few mistakes. Run a little bit. Like, I'm not asking him to do some ridiculous numbers like Fede would or like Jude would, but I'm just asking him to just put some pressure on him so it's not unlimited time on the ball. If it's like, give him like 3 seconds, 3 seconds on the ball, that's fine. I don't mind that. And just not too much is all I need from Vinny, and I know Vinny can do it. Has he lost that ability? That's obviously something I don't know because I'm not in the training ground. But I don't believe that's something that you just lose over a couple of seasons. So I think Vinny needs to improve in that. And so I think it's unfortunate. But I think apart from that, going into the next leg, I think we'll talk about next. Well, I don't know if I'll go. It all depends whether I get the time next week to talk about it. But I think going into next leg, we've got Jude back next week, which is a huge addition in the midfield. Who drops out? Is it going to be Camavinga or is it going to be Brahim? It's a tough decision because you do not want to go into Atleti that leg and just not be solid defensively and essentially with 5 attackers, but you also don't want to play Camavinga in this current state. It's a very difficult situation from Carlo Ancelotti, and something which I don't have to deal with. But apart from that, I think that's all I've got to say, really. Not good enough from the front two, but everyone else, solid enough performance, gets us away with a win. And yes, all for next week. Also, just a quick word on Arsenal. 7-1 against PSV. It's going to be Arsenal in the next round unless PSV pull off a 7-0 comeback. I think we should start preparing for that. Oh, one quick word. obviously I like. There's a new we've started a new formation, basically new tactical positions in the midfield. So I think we've got a 4-4-2 out of possession. I really like it. I think it's a much better idea. Obviously, it does require Rodrigo to run back and actually do those numbers, but I really like it. It's helping us a lot more in defence. And although I think it still requires Vinny and Mbappe to run just a little bit, like I said, but I think I really like it. It helps us be a lot more solid in possession, and something it shows us at least Carlo's trying something. So it shows us that Carlo Ancelotti hasn't got dementia as of yet. So yeah, it's good to see that. And yeah, that's all I've got to say really. I'll be back on the weekend to talk about Rayo. Maybe Sean will be back. He's been quite busy recently, so not being able to watch the games and give the analysis. But yeah, we got Rayo Vallecano on the weekend. Really solid. Let's hope for a win at home, Rayo. We need a win. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.